keep it going, keep it pushing through. Yeah, I'm just trying to ball like the playoffs. I just want them rings like a phone call. Ain't about what you want, it's about what you working for. How much time you put in and how far you trying to go. Everything I need is up.
Channel or the Twitter page, please feel free to do so now at TAE_WIGGS. And of course, the website as well as www.donte1910.wixsite.com/Tay First and foremost, we're going to do something a little different today. I want to get into the NFL mock draft. You know, you always hear me talk about basketball and this stuff. Yeah, I'm going to talk about basketball later on down the line. But if I had a chance to pick some players, some up-and-coming superstars, or some pieces that help a team to get over that hump and maybe win their first game and within 2 years, we already know the Cleveland Browns are number one on the clock on the NFL draft. So when you 0-16, there are a lot of holes you must fill to make your team not go 0-16 again. So if it was up to me, like I said, this is my own mock draft. With my first pick for the Cleveland Browns, I would go with quarterback Josh Allen out of Wyoming. He's a big quarterback. He has a big, strong arm. He reminds me of Carson Wentz of the Philadelphia Eagles. Similar built, but I think if the Browns can find their quarterback, this would be the guy they should go with. No, they went, like I said, this team has plethora of quarterbacks they went through since 1999. I feel like this should be a guy they should draft and mold. Second pick, we know the Giants, they're going to need a quarterback too as well. And now if I was the Giants, I would go with Sam Darnold out of USC. He has a big arm, but we know the game he played against Ohio State in that bowl game. We know it didn't go well. His line been hurt the whole season. So with that second pick, the Giants, I'm taking Sam Darnold. Third pick, if I was the coach, I'm going with a young pass rusher and Bradley Chubb. Swim move is crazy. He can hit the outside. He commands a double team. So you can't just get him single-handedly on one-on-one. So you got to bring somebody else up there to keep him contained because he can't get to the quarterback. He's a lethal rusher. The fourth pick for the Cleveland Browns, I will go with Saquon Barkley, the running back out of Penn State. Dynamic back. The Browns need a home run hitter in the backfield. Not saying that Isaiah Crowell is not a home run hitter, but for the last couple of years I've been watching Isaiah Crowell. He hasn't been progressing. He's been going backwards a little bit, averaging almost about 2-3 yards a carry. That's not good enough. I need a guy who's going to hit that hole and hit it hard. And when I'm looking at a running back like Saquon Barkley for Penn State, he has home run plays. Somebody who's going to hit that hole, he's going to get up in there, going to gas the defense about 10 to 15 yards. You need a playmaker in your backfield to eat some of that clock up. I think that'd be a safe pick for the Cleveland Browns. That's what I like. Number 5 coming in. If I was the Denver Broncos, I'm taking quarterback Josh Rosen, UCLA product. They need a quarterback real bad. They haven't had a quarterback since Peyton Manning left. So they've been going through a little quarterback ups and downs. If I feel like if they can get a Josh Rosen, somebody like that, that would be a great pick for them. Definitely. 6th pick for the Jets. I'm looking at the Jets again. Michael Fitzpatrick, the cornerback. Dynamic, long, athletic, a playmaker, and also he's a hitter. So they need some dynamic out there for that in that defense. Because they didn't make a playoff run, unfortunately, but that team has the right ingredients to get where they're going. So look out for the Jets to pick up Michael Fitzpatrick. I'm going to go with the Buccaneers at 7 to get Quentin Nelson, guard. You need someone up there, a big boy, a grinder, to block block. You need somebody up there. You just need a big boy up there. That's what the Buccaneers need, to fill that guard gap, to get some push, and that's a safe pick for them. Chicago Bears, they already got their quarterback and Mitchell Trubisky from North Carolina. I'm looking for the Chicago Bears to pick up wide receiver Calvin Ridley. Makes sense because the other wide receiver they have is stay hurt a lot. So to go alongside with other receiver in Chicago, that would be a blessing right there. You get you someone that's durable and dependable and healthy. And he's a home run hitter. If I was the San Francisco 49ers at my ninth pick, picking the cornerback out of Ohio State, Denzel Ward, the playmaker on the other side of the defense to contain the ball. Because when they picked up Jimmy Garoppolo, this team is 5-0. They wasn't playing for the top 4 pick, or arguably considerably the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. They wanted to win now. The way they close their season out, they going in the end of the season on a 5-0 run. They got something to build on collectively. When the season start, training camp should be awesome for the 49ers. This wouldn't be a team I wouldn't mind watching on HBO series Hard Knocks. Probably the Browns probably a good pick too for Hard Knocks. That's if they up to the invitation. The Browns get an invite every year to be on the Hard Knocks. So these are 2 teams I wouldn't mind seeing on Hard Knocks just to see the process of Jimmy Garoppolo going through what he learned from Tom Brady and that coaching staff up in New England. So those are the 2 teams I would rather watch on the Hard Knocks. Cleveland Browns and the 49ers. Then with the 10th pick, we already know the Raiders signed their head coach to like $100 million contract. I'm looking like, ooh, that's a lot of bread you backing up to that truck. So when you're looking at the Raiders here picking at number 10, I would go with an inside linebacker. You got Khalil Mack in the middle, but you got that right there. So you go pick up the inside linebacker, Roquan Smith. So you got John Gruden, coach, coming back to the Raiders, making some picks, and he gonna have his hands full this year. John Gruden is. Derek Carr, I'm saying it now, the Raiders will make a playoff run because John Gruden will make sure to get them in the playoffs. So that's my mock draft that I was looking at. Then we know we got a couple of games that come on this weekend. We got the NFC Championship and we got the AFC Championship. We got the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles going in. So I'm looking at the possibility of these 2 teams facing off. We know Carson Wentz is out for the season. They put Nick Foles in there. Yes, Nick Foles is running the team. And both of these teams have a feisty defense. And I'm looking at the Vikings, and I'm looking at their defense. This defense is stingy when it comes to scoring. In the regular season, this is one of the teams that's only allowing 21 points per game, which is stellar. One of the top 5 defenses in the league. And not too far behind them are the Philadelphia Eagles. Before I get to my picks, I just want to look at some matchups as well. We're looking at quarterback advantage. Who would you get that edge to? Everybody might say Nick Foles is because he played in that operation, that system before. This is Case Keenum's first year. I mean, it's not his first year, but his second year in the helm of the Vikings. And I'm going to get his edge right here to the Vikings at quarterback. I do like what I see from them at quarterback. Receiver edge, you got to go Eagles. Running backs, that's almost a tie because you got Jay Ajayi and Latavius Murray in that backfield and McKinnon. Now, they had their stud back there, their rookie for the Vikings. You talk about a whole different type of running game. So I'll get an edge. I get a tie. That's gonna be a tie running back, quarterback Vikings. Receivers goes to the Eagles. Defense goes to the Vikings. This game right here will come up to a lot of special teams. Ooh, I like the Vikings special teams. So with that being said, I'm gonna go with the Minnesota Vikings to beat the Eagles. And the reason I'm saying that because this team right here been counted out a lot. This team, they said it wasn't going to make the playoffs. And this team fought through a lot of adversity, the injuries, just coming together as a collective unit, figuring out the ways to win the game. And who doesn't like a team who is the underdog. They are the underdog. Everybody's picking the Eagles to win this game because the Eagles are at home. I just want to say this, Eagles fans. You know that the game is at home, but I got to go with the Vikings to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. This will be the first time in the Super Bowl era that the Minnesota Vikings will host the Super Bowl. This is the first time that a team who has the Super Bowl in their city, in their backyard, this might be the first time we may see this. So I'm going to go with the Vikings on this one. Hope the Eagles fans don't get too rowdy there because I'm listening to the radio stations. You know, I love to do sports, so get an off day when you're at work chilling on lunch break. I'm going down the radio dial on my phone. Got the app called My Turner Radio. So I go to My Turner Radio and I'm listening to the Philadelphia sports. And all the fans are saying if we lose this game, the Vikings fans might not be too happy. In other words, they saying if we lose, they're gonna fight some Viking fans. I don't want to see nobody get hurt. Let the players lead that out there on the field. Those are diehard fans. Eagles fans are. These are guys who threw snowballs at Santa Claus. So just imagine what they're going to do to a regular person not in a red suit. So they are warning Viking fans on Ticketmasters in Minneapolis saying, be cautious of Eagles fans if you're attending these games, Vikings fans. If the game get a little bit out of hand, Eagles fans will pursue to fight. They calling the Eagles fans gang members. That's totally disrespectful to call a fan base gang members. See, what I'm getting at, I know people love their teams, but I'm gonna be honest. When everybody go to games and you know fans walk past, they casually say some nasty words to you. So I'm not gonna get into what they be saying, but you know some couple of cuss words. You know the mother word of all mother words. They say that, and when you start talking like that to a fan who witnessed a loss and went through that loss, some people suffer depression from losing. So when you say certain things like that, it's going to trigger off that fan to retaliate. Viking fans, if you win this game, don't be singing your team anthem in their hallways and down the tunnels. Get your win. Head back home peacefully. We don't need nobody to get hurt. Eagles fans, you got to show who is the bigger person. If you guys win this game, I'm all for you guys. But you got to take the win. You got to take the good with the bad as well. So I'm gonna jump off that one. Next is the AFC Championship. Everybody been counting this team out since day one. The Jacksonville Jaguars versus the New England Patriots. And watching them closely, I think they got one of the best corner in the league, Jalen Ramsey from Florida State. Just like what he bring that swagger. He just bring that passion of playing football. And you love someone who does that. He's raw and uncut. He's unfiltered. Just what he's saying. This is a young guy in the league. So you want to be better than Deion Sanders. We know those are big shoes to fill. And of course we know that Deion Sanders is a fellow alum of FSU. So who doesn't want to be better than Deion Sanders? This guy's making big plays at big times. You know how I feel about big time players making big time plays. You hear me say it in and out. When you need a big play, who's going to be that guy and step up? It was Jalen Ramsey. And their defense is unfreaking real. A Tayshaun Gibson, a Barry Church. This defense is stellar. It's stellar. Nothing you can say about it. Everybody talking bad about Blake Bortles. He's the worst quarterback in the league. Let's be honest. He's not the worst quarterback in the league. And I'm about to speak facts. He's throwing probably 3 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. But he's the worst quarterback in the league. Yes, he got a good defense. And I'm glad I'm talking about the worst quarterback in the league because you got guys on TV like a Trent Dilfer saying Blake Bortles not a good quarterback. But it's the same Trent Dilfer that says stuff like this. Dilfer Dimes. He's talking like he's the supreme quarterback when he played. Remember, you played for the Browns. You played for various teams. You played for that Baltimore Ravens, who had a stellar defense. The defense that year, which won the Super Bowl, Mr. Trent Dilfer. You wasn't a good quarterback that year. I think you threw like somewhere in the neighborhood of 25 interceptions to like 12 touchdowns. Pump your brakes, Trent Dilfer, before you call another quarterback garbage. Go look at your stats when you made that Super Bowl run. One of the arguably best defense in the league that year. Probably historically the best defense in the NFL that we've seen in history. But you got the audacity to call another counterpart that played the same position as you as garbage? Man, come on. You gotta be kidding me. You can't tell me you sitting on TV saying that certain players like that, Blake Bortles, is not one of the great quarterbacks. You need to look in your mirror and say, guess what? I wasn't a great quarterback, but I was a game. And you gotta look at that stuff. And you talk about a game manager and what Blake Bortles is doing. And my hat's is off to Blake Bortles. I want to see Blake Bortles do good. Because all that hate that he is getting, saying that he's not good, and teams are saying this, the Tennessee Titans saying this type of stuff. And I'm going to say this about the Tennessee Titans. Yes, y'all made the playoffs and all this stuff. And when Jurrell Casey said, Blake Bortles not that good, we should be in the next round. Jurrell Casey, need you to look yourself in the mirror and say this. Guess what you be doing tomorrow evening? You're going to be watching Blake Bortles and the Jacksonville Jaguars take on the New England Patriots. And oh, by the way, Patriots, we heard that Terrific Tom has a bruise or a type of wound on his throwing hand. There's always something with the New England Patriots around this time. They want to give you something to talk about. But if I was the Jacksonville Jaguars, stay on y'all stuff. Stay tight. Don't worry about what's going on in New England. It's Tom Brady. They're going to find some way trying to get Tom Brady this win. Like I said, they're going to find some way to get Tom Brady this win. I'm picking not the New England Patriots to win this game. I'm going with them hungry Jacksonville Jaguars to win this game. I'm going to say Jacksonville. 27. New England 17. You know what's going to be good about this win right here for the Jacksonville Jaguars? If they beat the Patriots, I want to see the Jacksonville Jaguars do a chunky soup commercial eating New England clam chowder. Now that'd be something to see. Picking the Vikings to win over the Eagles. That might be a shootout. I'm going to say the Eagles go down 28-24 in that one. But I want to get to the NBA on this note. So we know the NBA be going through a lot of stuff in the last couple of weeks. We've been seeing fights, players arguing with the referees, how Carmelo Anthony's done with the referees, how certain players are crying because they're not getting certain calls. You've seen the other night where Russell Westbrook went to the hole, folks. Got scraped across his face. The referee didn't call no foul. Whoever Russell Westbrook said to the referee probably saying something like, hey, blow your whistle, something. Then the referee turned around, blew a game with technical foul, threw him out the game. Russell Westbrook turned around and said, now your whistle worked. So the referees had to do a better job of getting themselves in the right position to see a call. You got a referee. I'm going to say my microphone is the referee, but you got a player going to the hole, getting fouled across the face. The referee right here don't see it and don't call it. But you got the one that's all the way down at half court who makes the call. You got to be kidding with me. That's my only thing about the NBA referees. You have to make better judgment when you calling these calls. You just can't be calling by the spite of the moment because I'm going to be honest with you. Some of these referees have favorite players in the league. So when you look at some of these referees, like a Tony Brothers, if you see him reffing, you already know one of your superstars is not about to get a call. Because Tony Brothers don't care who you are. He going to have you playing basketball. He's not going to blow no whistle. Yes, I've been a lot of name dropping today, and who cares? This is what I do. When I see Tony Brothers reffing, I heard certain games like Cavaliers, Warriors games, Spurs, Thunder games. For some reason, like certain players don't get calls to like a LeBron James, a Kevin Durant, or Russell Westbrook, or LaMarcus Aldridge, or Damian Lillard. He looks at them like they crazy and say, man, you keep playing basketball after they just got fouled. They talking to the referees. Some of these referees act like they are bigger than the game. When you out there playing basketball, when the players playing basketball, we're not watching the referees. We are watching the players run down the court. The only time when a fan like myself get mad at the referee because the referee is standing right there on top of the ball. He doesn't make a call. But he'd go to the player with his hand on his mouth with his whistle about, oh, don't worry about it, I got you next time. No, you should have made that call at the right moment. So this is what they're not talking about on the other media outlets. This is what I want to see right here in my man cave, and this is what I want to share with you guys from what I'm seeing. The referees are right there, not making a good judgment call. Not at all. But you would go back down to court. The same call that you missed down here, you would go down court and blow the whistle on that end and call that call. So that don't make no sense because that's why some players say that don't make sense. You should call that down there. Then when he say that, then you want to tee him up. Why? Because you know he was right and you was wrong for making a call down here, but you didn't make it on the other end. So referees, you got to clean this up. I think the vice president of basketball and player operations should meet with the operations of the referees back in New Carcass, New Jersey. They need to come to some type of agreement how they should ref these games because I feel like some of the referees that's right there at the moment doesn't make some of the great calls. I feel like the referees at the half court or beyond make the calls, but how the referee down at that end make that call? It doesn't make sense. So they need to clean that up. And like I said, looking at Aaron Aflalo and Valencia of the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm looking at this game. Aaron Aflalo goes up, hit it with an elbow. I think he connected a little bit. Then he missed a haymaker, a wide open haymaker on the 7-footer. So Valencia, guess what he does? He grabs and puts him in the headlock. Aaron Aflalo can get out the headlock. So this is another thing I have an issue with. So you put somebody in the headlock. He didn't chop on him until the teammates stand back. He had him in the headlock, protecting himself. Aaron Aflalo gets out and throw the guards up. Aaron Aflalo, you threw your guards up. First of all, you hit him with an elbow. You missed a wide open haymaker. You get suspended for 2 games, but the other player who didn't get suspended as well. But with that being said, the referees, again, remember, we're going back to referees on this. You go back, you go look at the monitor at the scorekeeper's desk. You eject Aaron Aflalo. You get suspended for 2 games. I think Valencia get ejected with no suspension. They both should have got suspended. They both initiated a fight. So if Aflalo got 2 games for throwing a punch, Valencia should have got suspended at least a game as well. But that didn't happen. Another one. I'm going back to the referees on this, on the NBA fights. You got Houston and Rockets and the Clippers, who had a little scrum a couple days ago. Chris Paul called Blake Griffin the B word. You know, players do talk trash to each other. That's understandable. Then Trevor Ariza get into it with the Clippers bench. Austin Rivers get into it with Trevor Ariza. Patrick Beverly told him to go down there. We ain't had none of that. I'm on the team. We're not gonna be on the. We not no soft team playing basketball. And Trevor Ariza gets suspended for a game or so. Clint Capella did get suspended because Chris Paul. I'm circling this on the Houston Rockets because Blake Griffin said some words to Mike D'Antoni, which is the Houston Rockets head coach. And then Chris Paul followed and said, hey, coaches out there, I got coaches back no matter what. You're not going to talk to my coach crazy like that. I just want to say this about Chris Paul, CP3, which y'all call him. When I seen players go off on Doc Rivers, when you was playing for the Clippers, I never seen you come to the helping hand of Doc Rivers. None of that. You just let players talk to the coach. You take your mouthpiece out. You just get your hands in here and be looking at them stupid. But now you're on the other team and you playing for the Houston Rockets, a.k.a. James Harden's team. Somebody say something crazy about Mike D'Antoni. The first thing you want to do is you want to take his back. So where was this at when you was playing for the Clippers? Where was this Chris Paul at when players was talking to Doc Rivers like that? You didn't have his back at that time. So Chris Paul, come on, man, cut the games. Then secondly, you don't get suspended, but you led these players through like a secret passage through Staples Center. Then you had Clint Capella knock on the door. They like open the door, Hey, it's Clint Capella. Can you let us in? Really, Clint Capella? You gonna knock on the door and say, let us in? You are a 7-footer. If y'all was really want to get that smoke in and blow that smoke, you the boom rush that door. You and Trevor Ariza. So you had at the door, Clint Capella knocking on the door, Trevor Ariza, James Harden. Who was in the back of all three of them? Little CP3. Blowing all that smoke. But you didn't go in that locker room. Y'all didn't boom rush your way through the locker room. But the Clippers called LAPD. They had to bring LAPD in to defuse this. There's more to this story. We may never know, but I feel like there's more to this story. But everybody got suspended. Trevor Ariza. So you suspend him because his tenor was to fight the other team. So you tell me you didn't suspend Chris Paul. You didn't suspend James Harden. Right? You got Clint Capella, James Harden, and Chris Paul. Right? But y'all suspend Trevor Ariza. The NBA messed up on that one. All 4 players should be suspended for 2 games. Because they left their side of the area of the stadium to come through the secret passageway, trying to start another fight with the opposing team. You only suspend 1 player? That's a bad look right there. If that was me, Commissioner Lee, I would suspend all 4 of them for 2 games. You just can't get 1 player 2 games. They all should suspend him for 2 games going to that other team's locker room. Then you have Michael Carter Williams the other night. Him and Tim Frazier get into a scuffle. Of what sort? Tim Frazier feel like he was backing his teammate up, Josh Smith of the Washington Wizards. Then you have Michael Carter Williams going through the motions. I think this was third quarter when I was watching. He goes to they box him out. He feel like Josh Smith hits him with an elbow while he's going back. So Michael Carter Williams pulled him down, got up on top of him, like he was going to hit him with a punch. Tim Frazier's run over. What any teammate would do, bag his teammate. They break the fight up, and they send him back. They both got ejected, but the person who started it didn't get anything. Shame on you again, NBA, for not doing that. You should have did something about that. Then last night, Victor Oladipo and Jusuf Nurkic. Yes, Jusuf Nurkic blocks Victor Oladipo shot going to the hole. He gave him a huge stare down. He looked at him. Victor Oladipo ran back down court. He bumps into Victor Oladipo. They both get texts. All set. Nothing happening. Comes to blows, but they was face to face. So I'm saying about this about the NBA. What are y'all becoming? Everybody want to be a tough guy when they play basketball. Get buckets, get paid, and go home. Leave that nonsense on the floor. Y'all doing all this stuff, trying to fight each other. We know some of you guys are best friends when the season is over. Some of you guys been playing basketball since y'all was like 7 to 8 years old. So don't get on the court yet. I'm not going to lie. I know when I play basketball too, things get heated, argue with friends and stuff. But I never, ever came to try to punch one of my teammates in the face or one of my counterparts. Just disrespectful to the game. And remember, y'all got to be better than these players. Y'all got the young kids watching. Y'all are role models. Some players tell you not role models, but some of these kids look up to you as role models. Some of these kids have posters hanging up on the wall. I.e. myself, I got posters hanging up on the wall too. But at the same given point, have better judgment for what you do. Because don't hurt yourself and have your pockets light. Keep all your money. Now, before I end this off, I want to go to the NBA All-Star selection. You got the 2 vote getters in each conference for the East and the West. They're not going to call it East and West. Maybe by Team LeBron, they may call it Team Steph. So LeBron James led the way for all the players in the East with the most votes. And Steph Curry as well with the most votes in the Western Conference. So this year, they would pick their teams. LeBron James got the first pick. What would LeBron James do with that first pick? I think him and Steph should sit somewhere when it happens. All-Star Weekend is in Los Angeles. That first night they arrive there, I think they should go into the room. This should be on TV, NBA TV. A nice little 30-minute segment of them drafting the players in the pool. That would be a good look for the NBA ratings. This would be fun. If I was LeBron James, with my first pick, I would be taking Kevin Durant. And people like, KD? I would take KD because he said he want to win. And that's what he want to do. Everybody wants to win this game. I think the winner take home what? 50 grand, the loser take on $25,000, something crazy around the neighborhood. It may be more than that. LeBron might pick Kevin Durant. I would say Team LeBron would go KD. Steph would probably go Giannis Antetokounmpo. With the third pick, I think LeBron James may mess around and pick Anthony Davis. Then I think with that pick, I think Steph Curry may pick a Boogie Cousins. Then LeBron James may pick a Joel Embiid. Then I may say Steph Curry go back with DeMar DeRozan. Then I'm going to say LeBron go with James Harden. Then I would say Steph go with Kyrie. I don't think LeBron's going to pick Kyrie for this All-Star selection. I'm seeing different things. We know teams are finding their groove now to jockey for playoff space. Like I said, we already know once that All-Star break come back, there will be 21 games left. 21. It's unbelievable because we just watched the NBA Finals not that long ago. It's hard to believe that once this All-Star break is going on, they be off for a whole week. When they come back, 21 games left. A month and a half of basketball. That's going to be really, really great basketball games. Teams going to pick up the level a notch or two. This is where I see everything going. There's going to be some big trades going on. Kemba Walker name is coming up now in Cavaliers talks. I'm hearing DeAndre Jordan, Tyreke Evans. I hear the Golden State Warriors talk about they want to get Paul George or Anthony Davis. The Celtics is talking about Anthony Davis. DeMarcus Cousins' name is coming up, possibility in Lakers trade talks. I feel like some of the teams have names that these players' names that we're hearing, a lot of these players are not going to get moved. I feel like a Robin Lopez or a Brook Lopez may get moved. A Justin Holiday may get moved. Tyreke Evans, a quiet dark horse, a Marc Gasol may get moved. Yes, Elfrid Payton, Evan Fournier. These names will become available. A JaVale McGee. There's some names out here. Maybe a Tyson Chandler. Somebody who needs another center to get them over the hump. These are the things I'm looking for that's coming up as soon as possible. But right now, it's a lot going on. I'm going to end off on this note right here. This is Tay Wiggs. It's been a pleasure to talk to you guys live from the Man Cave. Like I said, head over to that Twitter page and that YouTube at TAE_WIGGS. And of course, the website is at www.donte.com/TAEWIGGS. Until next time, folks, shout out to Outline, Ohio. Peace.